Hey, this is Mike from Hearthstone Advisory. When I was working as a loan officer for direct lenders, one of the things that I would always ask prospective clients of mine, especially when they were really telling me about these great term sheets that they've got this lender that's really going to make it easy for them, give them 100%, do it at zero origination, A, B, C, D, you name it. There was something there that was sticking. And not every lender is built the same, necessarily, but most of them do a lot of the same things. A lot of them have the same criteria. Some can do stuff a little bit more for one reason or another. Some are a little more conservative for one reason or another. But at the end of the day, what really breaks it down is execution. So what I would always ask them to do is send me a term sheet. Send me a term sheet so I can compare it to what we can offer, apples to apples. And what I would find 9 times out of 10 is that the term sheet was set up in a way that was never going to close that way. They were either putting in a crazy big DSCR, or they were putting in an ARV that wasn't the actual ARV, or an as is that wasn't the as is, or they had the experience wrong, or the credit wrong. And a lot of times what happens in sales departments at some direct lenders is you have a weak loan officer. He doesn't know how to communicate to you using real facts. So they create this kind of magic world where this is the term sheet that you're going to get. And yep, we're going to close it in 10 days as well. And then what happens? You get an appraisal back and they change the leverage, or they said you weren't going to need an appraisal at all and you've paid for a BPO, but now you have to pay for a full appraisal. Or, hey, when we priced this, we had your credit at an 800. And even though I said that credit's not really that important, it does affect the terms. Or we didn't get your experience right. Maybe you've done 10 deals, but those 10 deals happened over 10 years and you haven't done more than 1 or 2 in the last 24 to 36 months. That means you've got a 1 or 2 experience score. They're going to treat you as a way different level of risk than someone who's done 10 deals this year. So the most important thing that you need to know is if that term sheet looks great, why does it look great? Shop it against a couple of other people. Have people poke holes in it. That doesn't cost you anything but time. Now, if you don't have the time to do that, and you don't have time to hold people accountable or fact check your lenders or learn their guidelines better than they know them, that's the time where you want to tap into a broker. A good broker, only a good one now, is going to be able to look at that term sheet and say, hang on, this isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. Tell me this, tell me that. Or even better, they're going to bring you to the outlet that is best suited for your needs, and one that they already know is going to execute, one that's going to limit the amount of nonsense and surprises that come down the pike, and one that's going to close you on time so that your earnest money isn't exposed. Nothing kills a deal like time. And if you remember, sometimes you get a little bit more time. If you go back to 2021, if you didn't close on time, there was a guy with a bag of cash waiting for it. And that can happen even now. Even in a slower market, there can be people waiting to scoop in a deal, especially if you found a really good one. Another thing is that you need to make sure that these lenders and these brokers are not blasting your deal to just this massive network. Because guess what? Other investors find out that you've got it, and they know that you're with a lender that's not going to close you on time, and they scoop in and they get it, because the person that's selling that property in general just wants it to be done. They want their money. They'll take a little bit less if they'll actually execute, especially if you've been dragging them along for 30, 45, 60 days. So what I would say is, if you have any questions, if you have something that looks too good to be true, reach out to us. I will give you our God's honest opinion. And if I can't beat that term sheet, I'll tell you there's no way I can beat that term sheet. And if I think someone's full of it, I'll tell you that they're full of it. And then we can part ways as friends. I just want good information being out there, because quite honestly, bad loan officers and bad brokers make my job harder, and nobody needs that. Nobody wants that. They make your job harder. Nobody needs that. Nobody wants that. So go ahead and text 904-365-1769. If you've got a deal, text me quote request. If you've got a question, text question. We will get back to you as soon as possible. Or, of course, you can always email us, capital@hearthstoneprivatecapital.com. Good luck, everybody.